Do you find yourself replaying conversations hours or even days after they happen? Analyzing every word, every pause, every facial expression, wondering if you said the wrong thing or if they think differently about you now? If you're nodding along, you're definitely not alone. Today, we're exploring why our brains get stuck in these social replay loops, the crucial difference between helpful reflection and destructive rumination, and practical techniques to break free from the exhausting cycle of overthinking every interaction. This is part 4 of our Emotional Sovereignty series. I'm here to move you from mental chaos to peaceful clarity, trusting your social instincts without needing to analyze everything to death. First, let's understand why this happens. From a psychology perspective, overthinking social interactions often stems from our brain's attempt to keep us safe and connected. Our minds are wired to detect social threats because belonging has historically been crucial for our survival. When you're sensitive and empathetic, your brain is constantly collecting social data. Tone of voice, body language, energy shifts, and what wasn't said. This is actually a strength, but it can become overwhelming when your mind tries to process every single piece of information. Your brain might be thinking, if I can figure out what happened and what they're thinking, I can prevent future social mistakes or rejection. But here's the thing. This hyperanalysis rarely leads to the clarity or control we're seeking. Instead, it often creates more anxiety and uncertainty. The more we replay and analyze, the more distorted our perception can become. We start creating stories and meanings that may not even be accurate. Your brain isn't broken for doing this. It's actually trying to help you navigate relationships successfully. We just need to redirect this energy more effectively. Not all social processing is problematic. There's a crucial difference between helpful reflection and destructive rumination. And learning to distinguish between them is key to your peace of mind. Helpful reflection looks like briefly reviewing an interaction to understand what happened, identifying 1 or 2 specific lessons or insights, asking, what can I learn from this to improve future interactions? Moving toward acceptance and forward thinking, and having a clear endpoint. You process and then you're done. Destructive rumination looks like replaying the same conversation over and over and over without new insights. Creating elaborate stories about what the other person was thinking when you really just don't know. Focusing on what you should have said or done differently. Catastrophizing about the consequences of small social moments. Feeling more anxious and confused the more you think about it. Here's a simple test. After thinking about an interaction, do you feel clearer or more at peace or more anxious and confused? Helpful reflection brings clarity. Rumination brings more chaos. One of the most effective tools I can share with you is the 5-minute processing rule. When you find yourself wanting to analyze a social interaction, give yourself exactly 5 minutes to think about it intentionally. Here's how it works. Set a timer for 5 minutes. During this time, ask yourself these specific questions. What actually happened? The facts only, okay? No interpretations. How did I handle this situation? Is there one thing I learned that could help me in future similar situations? Am I satisfied with how I showed up authentically? When the timer goes off, you're done. If your mind tries to return to the interaction later, gently remind yourself, I already processed this. I gave it the attention it deserved. This technique works because it honors your need to process while creating a boundary around how much mental energy you'll invest. It transforms endless rumination into purposeful reflection. When your mind gets caught in social overthinking, these grounding techniques can help bring you back to the present moment. The 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 technique. Notice 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. This pulls your awareness out of your thoughts and into your physical environment. Body awareness reset. Place 1 hand on your heart and 1 hand on your belly and take 3 deep breaths and say, I am safe right now. That interaction is over. I can trust myself in relationships. The reality check. Ask yourself, will this interaction matter in 5 years, 5 months, or even 5 days? Most social moments that feel huge in the moment have very little long-term impact. Energy clearing visualization. Imagine the worried thoughts as clouds passing through your mind. You don't need to fight them or fix them. Just let them move through and dissipate naturally. The compassionate friend perspective. Ask yourself, what would I tell a beloved friend who was overthinking this interaction? We're often much kinder and more rational when advising others than when analyzing our own social moments. One of the reasons we overthink social interaction is because we don't trust our in-the-moment social instincts. But here's the truth. Your first response is usually your most authentic and appropriate response. Building social confidence means trusting that you're generally a good judge of social situations, remembering that most people are focused on themselves, not analyzing your every word, accepting that you can't control how others perceive you, only how authentically you show up. Recognizing that social mistakes are usually much smaller than they feel in the moment. Practice this affirmation. I trust my social instincts. I show up authentically in my relationships. I don't analyze every interaction to death to know I'm a good person who cares about others. Most of the time, if an interaction felt good in the moment, it probably was good. If you left feeling peaceful and connected, trust that feeling over the anxious thought that might come later. Speaking of building confidence in your authentic responses, I want to offer you something that can support you daily. It's my free daily self-care checklist with affirmations. It includes specific affirmations for trusting your social instincts and releasing the need to analyze every interaction. You can grab it in the description below. When you catch yourself in analysis paralysis, try this gentle interrupt pattern. Acknowledge without judgment. I notice I'm overthinking this interaction. Remind yourself of the truth. My brain is trying to help me, but this level of analysis isn't serving my peace. Choose to redirect. I'm going to trust that I showed up authentically and move my attention to something that nurtures me right now. Take 1 nurturing action. This might be making tea, calling a friend, going for a walk, or any activity that brings you back to the present moment. Remember, you don't have to fight the overthinking thoughts. You just have to choose not to feed them with more attention. Treat them like uninvited guests. Acknowledge them briefly, then redirect your energy to more welcoming visitors. The goal isn't to never reflect on social interactions. It's to do so in a way that serves your growth and your peace rather than anxiety. By the way, I'm Gwen Jones, and I offer heart-centered content that guides you from reactive patterns to intentionally designing a life that's aligned with your purpose through mindful wellness practices. With my psychology background, I understand how sensitive minds can get caught in overthinking loops, and I'm here to help you find that sweet spot between healthy reflection and peaceful acceptance. Learning to stop overthinking every social interaction is about finding balance, honoring your need to process while protecting your peace from endless analysis. Your sensitivity is a gift that helps you navigate relationships with depth and care, but it doesn't require you to dissect every moment to death. Trust your social instincts. Most of the time, your first response is your most authentic response. Most interactions that felt good in the moment probably were good. Most social mistakes are much smaller than they feel to your analyzing mind. You are allowed to show up imperfectly in your relationships. You are allowed to trust that people who truly care about you will give you grace for small social moments. You are allowed to release the exhausting responsibility of trying to control how others perceive you. Remember, connection happens in the present moment, not in the endless replay of past moments. When you free yourself from the mental loop of social analysis, you create a space for more authentic, spontaneous connection. You deserve relationships where you can be yourself without needing to analyze every word. You deserve the peace that comes from your trusting, or you deserve the peace that comes from trusting your social instincts. You deserve to flow from overthinking to authentic presence. Make sure you grab my free self-care checklist for ongoing support in trusting yourself and releasing the need to be perfect in every interaction. And make sure you're subscribed, because next week we're exploring healing your people-pleasing patterns. Perfect for those of us who overthink because we're trying to make everyone happy. Everyone happy. Remember, your authentic self is exactly who your people need to meet. Until next time, keep flowing in serenity. Be sure to check out this next video. Remember, you are deserving of love and respect.